If we observe the behavior and experiences of groups of people, appearing patterns will start to look like what is seen in nature. And the more people we study, the less we notice the differences, whether physical or moral. With this, we see the bigger picture of how society functions and stays together. From a man who sought understanding, an understanding through the means of distribution, wherein statistical laws were used as an instrument to explain social phenomenon, was an astronomer, mathematician, statistician, and sociologist. Lambert Adolphe Jacques Quetelet was born into a middle-class family on February 22, 1796, in Ghent, formerly part of the French Republic during this time, now part of Belgium.
From an early age within his teenage years, Quetelet had already begun teaching mathematics. Excelling in the field, he eventually graduated with the first doctorate awarded by the University of Ghent at age 23. Intertwined with numbers, he pursued the field, which led him to higher position, such as in 1820 when Quetelet was elected to the Royal Academy of Sciences and Literature in Brussels. Astronomy, which at the time was regarded as one of the most focused scientific fields, was one of his interests. It was thought that having a telescopic observatory demonstrated a country's scientific prowess. Seeing as Belgium did not have one, Quetelet, with his influence, managed to convince the government that ruled the country to build an observatory. During its construction, Quetelet began to travel outside of Belgium. Quetelet then found himself in Paris, where the director of the Paris Observatory, Alexis Bouvard, recognized his potential. Quetelet ended up meeting different scientists and astronomers, and with their guidance, he learned more about the methods of statistics and probability in astronomy.
Returning to Brussels, he was promoted to chair of higher mathematics at the Brussels Athenaeum. As he started leading public lectures, he opened the introductory course stating, "The more advanced the sciences have become, the more they have tended to enter the domain of mathematics, which is a sort of center towards which they converge. We can judge of the perfection to which a science has come by this facility, more or less great, with which it may be approached by calculation." By 1826, the Brussels Observatory opened its doors. During this year, Quetelet delved deeper into applied statistics as he published a paper analyzing law births and mortality in Brussels. 2 years later, Quetelet stopped carrying out his professorial lectures as he was then appointed as an astronomer and the director of the observatory. While he continued traveling to foreign observatories, he received news that Belgium had fallen into a revolution, and the Brussels Observatory had been caught in the middle of it. Quetelet did not engage much in politics, solely focusing on the fields in which he specialized. However, knowing that the country he grew up in, including the work that was supposed to serve as part of his legacy, had been affected by the social conflict, Quetelet knew he had to do something, that he had the means of utilizing his findings for society. Thus, he dug further into analyzing human data, with the help of the approach of astronomy through mathematical application.
Discovery involves recognizing obstacles as well. Not every measurement is exact, especially in astrology, where each result is most likely different from each other. However, by combining multiple data and computing for the average, the estimate can serve as a consensus from different data gathered. With this as the basis, Quetelet used the method of finding the average to analyze society. Quetelet believed in the thinking that an average measurement is the closest one could get to a measurement's true value, which he applied to his interpretation of averages in humans. However, as someone who majored in mathematics, he saw the value of statistics for its accuracy, but knew that it required to be both moral and material.
The statistics of the relationships between crime and social phenomena, or environment, are one of Quetelet's achievements, causing him to be regarded as an influential figure in criminology. He was able to gather evidence that aside from the age and sex of an individual, the season, climate, population composition, and poverty have a great influence on crime rates. However, as he stated this in his writings, it was seen as controversial, as it disregarded an individual's free will. After his pursuit of predicting human behavior in society, he continued to follow his ideals influenced by the use of averaging. Eventually, he created a fictional representation of what he believed was a perfect human being, namely, the average man. Quetelet began computing data of every human attribute for the average of humanity as a whole. Within his compilations of data, Quetelet also discovered the relationship between height and weight in adults. The weight of individuals of different heights are nearly like the square of their height, he stated. And then he created the Quetelet Index, now more well known by its new name, the Body Mass Index BMI.
Quetelet, throughout his life, believed in the significance of calculating numerical data to form attainable and factual results for the perfection of science. This belief paved the way for the foundation of modern statistical techniques and the application of statistical methods to the social sciences. At the age of 77 in 1874, Quetelet passed away. Yet, his legacy continued as his son, Ernest, followed in his footsteps and became director of the Brussels Observatory. Quetelet's quantitative discoveries served as a foundation for those who followed in his specialized fields.